Welcome to Sober.Coffee, a weekly coffee chat sharing experience, strength, and hope for anyone on the sober road to recovery. You can download Sober.Coffee weekly on all podcast platforms and check us out on Instagram at Sober.Coffee Podcast and on Twitter at Sober.Coffee Pod. To learn more about us and to help support these sessions, visit online at Sober.Coffee. Here are your hosts, two guys on their own path to recovery, Mike and Glenn. Let's join them at the coffee shop.
Good morning, Glenn.
Hey, Mikey, good morning.
I'm in love this morning.
Oh, gosh, what now?
Just this podcast. I just love it. You know, we always come in with ideas of what we're going to talk about, but I really have no idea what we're going to talk about, how it's going to go. I just know the topic. I just don't really know where you're going to take it to, Glenn.
Well, it's funny, and just to show behind the counter a little bit, you know, we just most of the time just broadly have an idea of what we're going to talk about, and it's just like sitting in a coffee shop. We just, you know, banter back and forth, and sometimes we have people come in and join us, you know, but it's, you know, Sober.Coffee unscripted.
That's right, just two guys on their own path to recovery. But I like the fact that we kind of take it back a little bit and say, what do we think people, where are their pain points? And so it's not hard for me to remember my pain points when I was early on in the program. And so I love today's topic, as a matter of fact.
Well, what is it, Mikey?
You want me to sing it or just say it? Because I'm not singing it.
No, I want you to sing it.
No, I'm not singing it.
Okay.
It'd be a song from the 70s by, I think, Jefferson something, Airplane, Starship, whatever. But it was Miracles, baby. If only you believed in miracles like I believed, we'd get by. If only you believed in miracles, Glenn.
Well, you know what? I do believe in miracles, and I will have to go back and listen to that. I am I certainly know most of the songs from the 70s. Thank you very much. And so I look forward to checking out. So miracles.
Yeah. So, you know, look, we've had this conversation before. That's why I love having it at coffee.
I know. I can't wait to dig you a little bit.
That's right, because I profess to be a walking, breathing, sober miracle, Glenn. I'm a miracle walking and breathing.
So explain that. Break that down, because that sounds like over the top, impossible, not true.
Okay, good. I'm going to go to Webster. How do you like that?
Oh, man.
I'm calling
Dr. Webster.
Hold on, let me grab my phone. All right. Definition. The first definition, a highly improbable, extraordinary event, development, or accomplishment that brings very welcome consequences. Okay, that's number one.
Okay.
All right, here's definition number...
A lot of words.
I know, right? This one I love. Definition number 2 of a miracle, a surprising and welcome event that is not explicable by natural or scientific laws and therefore is considered to be a work of the divine agency.
Okay, all right. So I did... When you said miracle, I did my own little, Dr. Google.
Oh,
right?
You did you?
And it says what I pulled out, and yes, I saw your too, but I saw an object of wonder.
Object of wonder.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Very good.
So knowing your story, and certainly knowing my story, I think both of them can be summed down to how we are today versus how we were. Yeah, object of wonder.
Object of wonder.
Yep.
Okay, I'll buy.
Wow.
I'll buy.
You know?
I like that. I like that. I'll buy that. I just, the difference between what...
I am going to let you just go and talk about your miracle,
all right.
And then I'm going to step in.
Then you're good, because I know it's coming.
I know. So hey, just paint whatever picture you want.
Okay, all right, beautiful.
And then I'll smear it.
He's going to bury me. So in thinking about this coffee, there was a couple of questions that I thought about asking myself, as it relates to miracle, because I do believe that I'm a walking miracle. From where I was to where I am today, I was in darkness. Now I'm in light. I was in devastation. Now I'm in practical and positive light in my life. There's just no explaining that a guy who tried to quit abusing alcohol and drugs for so many years, so many decades, could just one day wake up and all of a sudden not have an overwhelming desire to continue down that path, right? And so I asked myself, well, why me? Look, I've run into a lot of people in recovery. Why did I have this miracle moment? And I still see people struggling out there in the real world, and that breaks my heart because it's not a gift I can give them. It's a gift they can get. It's just not a gift I can give them, right? And then I had to ask myself.
Good perspective. Yeah, they have to pick it up.
They have to pick it up, you know. And then I asked myself, where did the help come from, right? So there's got to be some. They've got to know what store to go in to get it, right? And then how did I know I really had it? And lastly, can I lose it? So those are some of the things I jotted down here in front of me, right? Yeah.
It's very good framing for that picture that you're going to paint.
I know, right? Like we've got this. There's tension between Glenn and I right now because every time I say I'm a miracle, he retorts with something, and he's yet to do that yet.
I want you to paint that beautiful picture.
So hang on there.
It really is a beautiful picture.
I know. Hang on there for 12 minutes,
and then
friends.
I'll chime in.
Hang in there for 12 minutes, friends. He's going to lay it on me.
Yep.
So why me? And I wish I had an answer for this. I don't know, Glenn. I don't know why me. I don't know why I was the one in my circle that was chosen to get out of that situation that I was in, which was just short of tragic. But I think it was me. I think because I just gave up. But I didn't just give up like I'd given up many times over the decades. I gave up from, how do I say it, the most innermost depths of my desperation, right? I was just so done. The word uncle couldn't have been in bolder, larger fonts, all caps, underlined with an exclamation mark. I just said uncle. And I needed help like I never needed it before. And I asked like I had never asked before. I didn't recite some kind of fancy prayer. I didn't read it in a book. Hey, wake up tomorrow morning, and what I want you to do is just give this thing up, say these special magical words, and poof, you're gonna be better. There was no fanfare. There was no fancy scripted prayer. I just said, I need help.
So to me, I mean, that was a lot of words, and the one thing that stuck out to me was surrender.
Right, absolutely.
When you say I need help, to me that's synonymous with surrender, where I just can't do it anymore. I need help.
Right, and this isn't just surrendering in a game of chess where you lay your queen down.
Right.
This is life surrender. I mean, I was talking. This was life or death. This was my life. I was laying down. I said, I give up on controlling my life. I surrender, but I just used the word. I need help.
Yeah, so that means surrender your will, surrender your ego, and that is things that really ingrained. And we've talked about that before. We've talked about, saying, I need help as being a loser, right? As being a failure, as being a weakness.
Right.
And in reality, the ability to recognize that you're stuck, right? The ability to recognize that my way's not working anymore is such a strain. And to say I need help, in my mind, in our minds today, we view as asking for help as a strength.
Right. And what you just brought up to me is that I didn't think of all the implications of surrender. I just knew my way
probably
wasn't
because you
working.
didn't know.
No.
You had no idea what was coming.
No idea.
Right?
Right. Not at all. Not in my wildest imagination. So the next topic
Which
yes.
let me jump in.
Yeah, go ahead.
I laugh every time I think of this. When you said I need help, and your story's out there, and your wife jumped in, and within hours you were in a car driving to a treatment center, and in that car on the way, knowing your story, you're like, maybe I overshot this. Maybe this is not the solution. Maybe this is way over the top solution for my problem.
That was absolutely my story.
I love it how we think, right?
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
Great.
But I was at a bit, and that's a great segue because I was at a bit of a crossroad because I didn't really know who I was asking help from. As you pointed out, my wife heard me, and I certainly got help from her. But in order for my life to change, I needed something all powerful, something to come in and change my life for me. And so here's my struggle, Glenn. I had a spiritual background. We talked about it on other coffees, right? So I had some kind of spiritual background, right? I really worry about somebody listening in on this podcast who maybe doesn't have a spiritual background that I had, right? I just want it to work for them, and I know that everybody's story is different. So this is what I came up with is I was thinking about this morning, where did my help come from? And here's my answer. It was just a supernatural, right? Which, I don't know, that sounds very cosmic, right? But a supernatural power much greater than myself, It's a power greater than myself that put this universe together, right? So that's just what I had to grab onto. Somebody created this whole universe. It wasn't me. Somebody did it. That's the power I'm gonna tap into, and that's where people listening or people I talk to on the street are saying, "Oh, here we go. He's got religion," right? Well, you know what? Maybe I do. Bill Wilson's friend, Bill Wilson, the founder of Alcoholics Anonymous, that was Bill's retort. Oh boy, this guy's got religion, But then he thought, well, okay, whatever, it's working for him. Maybe I'll get religion. And Bill Wilson ultimately got religion. And this alcoholic got religion.
But the first person that you got help from was not a supernatural power.
No, it wasn't a priest, wasn't a pope.
It was Mrs. Mike.
It was Mrs. Mike, is right, yeah. I had the Pope scheduled to come in and save my life, but he had to go to the bullpen.
That's our grandiosity,
that's
right?
That's right.
We need that Pope to come in and bless us and save us, and really, it was Mrs. Mike that jumped in immediately.
That's right. I had to say help, and then I had to let the master of the universe dictate who was going to help me out.
I love that.
Absolutely.
I love that. That's great.
And then before you rain on my parade, I got two more things that really jumped out at me.
I'm getting teed up.
I know. Do I think I can lose it? So I have this overwhelming, confidence is the wrong word, cockiness is the way danger word, but I've got this comfort in me that says right now during this coffee session, I'm probably not going to open up and I'm not going to order drinks. First of all, they don't serve alcohol in our coffee shop, but if they did, I feel pretty good that I'm not going to go pick that up. I think that's the miracle of it.
So I don't think it's cockiness. Maybe confidence.
Confidence, yeah.
I mean, I think it's okay to be confident.
I think so too. Okay. So I think I can, though. I think I can absolutely lose it. And this is the analogy. You're the king of the analogies, but this is a baby analogy. This is a Mikey analogy, a Mikeism. If you gave me a brand new Ferrari, okay, no chart, you gave me the keys to
that would be a miracle.
That would be a miracle. You give me a brand new Ferrari, and I take it out on the road, and if I'm irresponsible with that thing, press it to 165 miles an hour and trying to make a 90-degree turn on a dime, I'm probably going to crash that car up, right? So my responsibility is to drive the Ferrari right. In the world of my sobriety, my responsibility is to just not take the first sip. That's all I got to do. That's my end of the bargain. Don't take the first sip. He'll take care of the heavy lifting. He'll take care of the master of the universe is going to take care of everything else for me. All I need to do is just not take that first drink, and we're going to stay drink-free today, right? And
no, I love that analogy because it's not just learn how to drive it, but it's learn how to take care of that Ferrari.
You got to take care of it. Absolutely.
It needs TLC. It needs maintenance, right? It needs preventative maintenance, just like our sober lives do.
Right. So I believe I'm a miracle, Glenn.
Mike, I agree with you. All right, so I'm just kidding. I don't agree with him. So. When Mikey and man, this is probably a year or so ago. You were in the rooms and you were saying, "Oh, I just think I'm a miracle," and I looked at point A and point B, and I'm like, "Yes, that could be classified as a miracle." And then in my mind, I look back at the object of wonder, right? Definition of miracle, and then I'm thinking, okay, so for me. If I woke up tomorrow weighing 40 pounds less than I do today, that would be a miracle, right? If I woke up tomorrow and had $3 million in my bank account, that would be a miracle, right? But if I went to the gym every day for a year, and I worked with a personal trainer, also known as a sponsor, right? And I was a student of getting in shape and getting healthy and driving nutrition. In a year, after losing 40 pounds, is that a miracle, or is it a byproduct of doing the right stuff to go from point A to point B? I think from going to point A to point B without doing anything, that's the miracle. I think if I go to work every day and I learn my business and I'm diligent and I care about it, I deliver for my clients, over time, if I build my business, I think that's a byproduct of doing the right things to get from point A to point B. If I got there without doing the right things, that's where I think the miracle is.
Right.
And the only reason I point that out, and I'm having fun with you.
Yes.
Because, yeah, I think you are a miracle. But I'm having fun because I just want to point out and not make light of all of the things, all of the right things that you do to get from point A to point B.
Sure. No,
right?
that's
and you
fair.
are so diligent, and so I almost want to use the R word, relentless, at how you handle your sobriety. And how you focused in on the 12 steps and you work the 12 steps and you live the 12 steps. So at that point,
you're gonna lose the weight.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose. You go
Exactly.
to the gym. You're gonna lose the weight.
You're gonna lose the weight. I mean,
Right.
there's not a day that goes by where you don't hit those machines.
Right.
You don't hit the track. You don't do those ab crunches, right?
Yeah.
Those sober ab crunches. So I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not making light of your miracle because you are a miracle. What I'd like to point out in my mind is that I see you doing the work, right? So it's no surprise, and I really want folks to understand this. It's no surprise if you get in the rooms, if you surrender and commit to it, day in and day out, your life's going to change.
Wonderful things.
I haven't seen anybody's life not change
Right.
because of this program
Right.
in a positive way. Do crappy things happen?
Absolutely.
Yes, they do. That's called life.
Right.
But overall, things change. And so I just didn't want to discount all the things that you do and have done and do and are planning to do to continue growing in your sobriety.
What's that little line? Faith without works is what?
Dead.
So you could believe you've got the miracle, but do you work it? Do you continue to keep it?
So I do believe you're a miracle. I can't wait to listen to that song. And man, what a way to point out. I love your bullet points today. I don't know where you pull these things out of.
I got one last one.
Those coffee napkins. Bring it home.
I got one last one. How can somebody else get this? How can somebody else walk in similar shoes? And I think that right now they've just got to give it up. Say uncle from the deepest depth within themselves. Feel it and believe it. And let the miracle happen to them.
I love that. Brother, awesome
See you next
thoughts
week, my
on
friend.
miracles, man. I can't wait to listen to that song on the way home.
Oh,
Thanks,
do
brother.
you believe?
Oh, please don't sing.
I won't. Cut.
Thanks for joining us for today's coffee chat. To contact the show, email us at podcast@Sober.Coffee. If you need immediate help, the AA hotline is 800-839-1686. The National Suicide Prevention Hotline is 800-273-8255. Remember, Mike and Glenn are sharing their own journey on the path to recovery. Any suggestions, medical or otherwise, are their own experiences and should not be viewed as professional advice. See you next week, and remember, there is a solution.